I think there's a lot of companies out there that want to tell everybody who they are or what they are about, and they're not focused on the product themselves. And so we just wanted to get the message out there that, hey, if you're tired of all these points of views by all these big companies, and you just want a company that's focused on what it is that they do, which for eight is making a great light beer, come join our team. We'd love to have you.
Is there an opportunity here, Troy? Obviously, we've seen what's happened with Bud Light and the sales have gone way down. Is there an opportunity to capture some of this market share, which obviously companies like Anheuser-Busch, they have sort of cornered the market for so long now?
Well, maybe. I mean, that's what we've seen. We've seen the numbers. I mean, I'm certainly aware of them being in this industry. I just think the last thing that people want is another point of view. And people get lost in it. And I think a lot of times what has happened is it's been really more of a broader trend with so many of these companies coming up with bold and oftentimes polarizing positions, and they lack authenticity, and it's really just trying to gain more market share. I think people see through that. I think they just want companies that are focused on the brands themselves. They don't want brands that are trying to get political. We're certainly not. We don't want to be a part of any debate outside of someone drinking eight beer while they're having a discussion is
Right.
really our perspective. And when I started eight beer, that was what we did. We made a low calorie, low carb, all organic beer, and we feel like we're doing it really well. And I feel that if people give it a try, those that like light beer, they're going to love it.
As somebody who has tasted it, fantastic. I remember when we first talked, Troy, you were just launching the product. What has it been like now in the year or so since you've really come out and launched a? What's it been like? Is it growing? Is it a good business? What have you learned? What's this whole experience
Well,
been
it's
like?
been fantastic. As you know, we're only in the state of Texas.
I wish you
Last
weren't. I
year,
wish you'd expand a little bit.
well, and we likely will in due time. Right now, we've still got a lot of ground to cover in the state of Texas, but it's gone exceptionally well. We've done better than what our projections were going into year one. Year two now is obviously really, really important. We were the fastest growing independent beer brand in the history of the state,
Wow.
which is saying a lot. We were the seventh growth brand in the country, even though we are only in the state of Texas. So it really resonated with a lot of people. And our intentions were to make a great tasting beer that was low calorie, low carb for people that were like-minded like me, that are conscious of what they put in their bodies and are mindful of that. And I think it's really resonated with people, and it's done really well. But the hard work is just beginning, as we know. Year one was one thing, but now year two, everything gets ramped up significantly.
Troy, do you focus on the light beer, or do you expand into other types of beer or even other types of alcohol?
Yeah, right now, yeah, we're just focused on our light beer, and maybe in time, I think those things, if they do happen, it's kind of like expansion. If it does happen, then that means that a lot of really great things are happening. But right now, we're as we kind of started this conversation off with, we're trying to focus on one thing, do it to the best of our ability, and stick with that for now.
How many employees do you have? I'm sure this actually makes jobs for people.
Yeah, we're lean and mean, as a startup
Yeah,
company.
hey,
So
it's the
we
way to
have
be.
grown. We're probably more efficient in our employees across the state. We have regional managers for a startup. A lot of companies like us don't have that.
Right.
Trying to fill the needs of all the people out there and our partners. But yeah, we continue to grow, continue to hire really talented people.